Okay, guys, we are back at the DBDC in Boston, and we are going to continue with what happened in the Pro Latin final. Our champions. And once again, we have discussed this couple on, this is our third occasion now. They finished 2-1-1-1-1, coming all the way from California, Mykhailo and Anastasiia. Nice.
I think that for me, they won the cup. I thought that they were the best overall. And clearly they have a little bit of a different experience, or they have a little bit more of an individual style than all the other couples, I feel. So somehow they managed to stand out. Again, on what I didn't think was their best night. I don't think that they'll probably say that themselves too, that it wasn't probably the best that they have danced. They still managed for me to do enough to win the competition yesterday. It's kind of the same things that we've spoken about in the past. I find that Mykhailo he's got a great tick in his body. His body ticks, but for me it kind of ticks all the time. And by that he loses out on other things. I think he loses out on resistance in his body, he loses out on timing in his body, he loses out on partnering. And sort of it would be nice to see a more sustained action sometimes from him. But having said that, like I said, I think they did enough to win. Last time we said that it seemed like they had started to work on some of the things, but they were probably not yet coming out. Didn't really get so much of that feeling this time. Actually, I felt it was a little bit back to the old one, which can happen in a competition. If you're not really feeling great, you go back to instinct, and obviously his instinct is to tick in the body all the time. So hopefully they'll go back to the drawing board. They have also probably done, I think it's a very busy season. I can imagine they've done a lot of competitions, so it could be also just that feeling a little bit burned out. Hopefully they'll go back, go to the studio, get a little bit into the work and practice, and we'll see them next time.
I hope so. These guys actually were the reigning champions, so they retained their DBDC title last night. Colin?
Sometimes we've all experienced the fact that we come and to any competition and nothing works, and for no reason necessarily. It's just we put it down to an off night, and we don't want those off nights. This was not their best time that they brought. I was a little bit in two minds, thinking afterwards, not during the comp, but afterwards, when people make some changes, like you were saying now, Klaus. We have seen some changes, but I wonder whether they are still in that. The reason why it was not so clear, but they're still in those changes. Or I also went through my mind, when you make changes, you lose a little bit of the stuff that you had before. And last night we didn't really have what they had before, in the sense of the rhythmical type of way of dancing. Yet they hadn't transist into some of the other changes. So it was kind of a middle of the road. I don't know whether it was an off day. You guys will know themselves if you felt like that, and you'll know, that some things didn't work, or you felt, you did everything you tried to do, and then we're still complaining about it. But it sometimes comes to that, and complaining is the wrong word, because this is not fair. This is high-level dancing, and they're putting the hours in and the time in. So this is not fun, and we're not laughing, definitely not laughing at that. But it didn't come together, and what I'm trying to give there is just to say, maybe it's helpful. If it didn't work, okay, you just got to put that down to experience and continue. If you felt that you were doing all of the things and we're saying we don't see them, then maybe the balance of what you've got and what you're going towards isn't quite clear enough. I would want to say one thing in the cha-cha that disturbed me a little bit, was the fact that I did not see any cha-cha 3 actions, 4 and 1. It was always and 1 or and 3. And there was no third action in, and the music was going 4M1 or accent on that, and they were just in between that or marking 2 parts of that, constantly 2 parts of that. That kind of disturbed me as in the character of the dance, and also the fundamental of movement for this dance.
I actually was not in the room when this event happened last night, so it's very interesting for me to hear what you guys are saying. It'll also be even more interesting when I cut the video for this, and then maybe we'll have another one. I'll see if I agreed with you. Yeah, but hey, Mykhailo, Anastasiia, you won last year. You won again last night. Congratulations. And yes, this is at the end of a very, very busy season, and I have to applaud you for coming all the way from California to dance here. So cheers, guys. So guys, that was once again very interesting for me, because we have spoken about all of these couples for 18 months now. Klaus, thank you for taking the time.
My pleasure.
Colin, as always, thank you.
Thank you too, Chris, and thanks for asking me to do this over this period. I think it's a very interesting way of looking at dance and its developments and its ins and outs.
And guys, if you want to know anything about the dance business, just log on to www.dancebeat.com. Hey guys, cheers.
Cheers. Oh, you've even got the glasses for it too.